Women Up Radio, designed to facilitate women's empowerment, improve your career, develop your talents, incorporate your passions, achieve fulfillment and success.
Hello, this is Anna Letitia Cook of Women Up Radio, supporting Empower Women and the Girls on the Road in their quest to support women entrepreneurs around the world. Fernanda and Taciana are visiting 24 countries, interviewing women and researching conditions, business ecosystems, challenges and advantages that exist in each country. So today we're visiting Singapore. Hi Fernanda and Taci, how are you today?
Hi Anna, we're good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So Singapore, I've always been fascinated. Singapore sounds wonderful. It's got a mystery, it's got an exotic feel to it, but I've never visited. So tell me, what's the general vision of business, women in business and women entrepreneurs in Singapore?
Hi, Anna. It was funny because it was amazing talking to these women. And for the first time during the entire trip was like the first time we heard, we don't have problems with money. So for us was like, wow.
Where am I?
Yeah. Talking to the women in Singapore, they really are happy, and they say that they have an excellent ecosystem with a lot of players like willing to invest, willing to support. They have access to many kinds of resources in order to put their business. Mm-hmm. And usually, we try to ask things that we heard in other countries, such as how hard is to get an investment here? And they were all pretty much saying, it's not hard, as good as if you have a good idea. The thing is, because Singapore is such a tiny country, the difficulty there is to prove to the investor that you are able to grow your business outside of Singapore. Yeah. Because, of course, no one is going to willing to put money only to the Singaporean size market. Yeah. But it was the first time during the entire trip that we didn't find anyone telling that money was a problem. Which, and I think yes. And Singapore is very cosmopolitan feeling, and they have very diverse culture. They have the Malays, the Chinese, the Indians, and they seem to, at least from our eyes, as passing buyers, seem to cohabit pretty well together. Yeah. They have their schools, their language, all their three are official, so they seem to really live well.
And I think that's part of one of the major positive aspects about Singapore business environment. Yeah. Being such a diverse place that brings only positive things, most of the times. And it shows, certainly. I mean, you walk on the streets of Singapore and you meet all people from everywhere. Working, visiting, but mostly working there and building businesses and interacting with the locals. So that says a lot. Yeah. So when you have that level of diversity, and of course, Singapore is known as a reference in the financial world. Yes. So it also attracts a lot of money. I mean, from the outsider, it seems to possess all the main characteristics of a kind of the place to be if you want to really, be innovative, pursue your business, build something from the ground. You have the resources, you have the money.
Yeah.
And the government as well wants to attract talents from all over. So it's a country that is pretty much open to receiving new ideas, new people, as long, of course, that you add to the country.
Well, that sounds great. It sounds very positive. So what does it mean to be a woman entrepreneur in Singapore?
It means that, of course, being a woman entrepreneur in Singapore is not only one thing. It depends on your background as well. You have women entrepreneurs for Indian culture, for Chinese culture, for Malay culture. They will have social pressures according to their own cultures back, the ancestors. Yeah. But they pretty much are able to achieve and to access to many of resources that sometimes we don't see as easily in other countries. Say, we were talking to an entrepreneur from India, and she said, of course, that there's a huge concern of her getting married instead of, putting her business forward. But she says, because I'm in Singapore, I'm able to, really have access to things that I might not have at home, and build my business here.
And it was interesting because we saw, a good level, I would say, from the people that we interviewed and people we interact, a good level of women in tech.
Yeah.
That's interesting because it's an environment that really values, of course, and it seems that all the eyes are into technology, and women are there, doing a lot of things and building tech businesses. So that was really interesting to see the importance and how women have been having this important role in the tech business as well.
That's good, because I know there's a lot of countries where women in tech are definitely not being supported or put forward. So it's nice to hear that. So what are the main factors in the business ecosystem in Singapore?
I think availability of resources.
Yeah.
Easiness of doing business. Like the country has a very good, platform to create new business. Like the laws are easy to grasp, and like the tax system, how you put up like a company and run a company, it's not at all bureaucratic comparing to a lot of other countries. Of course, we don't know the details. That's the feedback that were given to us.
Yeah.
So I think like in terms of things that are out of their control, has a very good layout system for any entrepreneur, men or women, to put their ideas forward.
That's positive.
Yes.
Very.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And are there any particular challenges because the women are women, or any advantages for them?
Well, as Fernanda mentioned, I think the social pressure it's in the background. So it doesn't seem to be something that I have to deal with on a daily basis in a very deep level. Yeah. I think for them, business-wise, the major challenge, and not only for women, is the market size.
Yes.
I mean, for you to thrive in Singapore, you have to really prove that you can grow outside. And China seems to be, where everybody goes to really test and prove their ideas.
Yeah.
We had the chance to interview a Singaporean who was in Beijing, and she said, I had to leave Singapore because otherwise I wouldn't get the investment level that I need to make my business grow. But I need to prove to the investor that I'm, the idea, the startup, the business is able to grow. That I have to do that outside Singapore. It's a very, very small market. So I would say that business-wise, this is the major challenge that they have to face.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And what about their soft and hard skills? What do they have in common, or what ones have they had to develop?
I think in Singapore, of course, of the level of stability and, wealth of the country, pretty much you can see like everybody's highly prepared.
Yes. I think the level of diversity that brings to them, an ability of dealing with different people, different ideas, and, bring and build something else with all these concepts and ideas. I think this is really important for the environment and for them.
Oh, right. Okay.
And they have access not only to professionals from Singapore, but all over the world, because they host a lot of conferences, like talks, and people go there to do business very often. So they have a very high prepared pool of talent to share ideas and to have as a mentor, has to have as a partner. So we thought that we're not talking only about like for-profit companies, but we were able to also interview very nice non-profit initiatives as well.
Oh, really? So you had a big range that you got information from. And okay, is there any one key motivational difference in Singapore that you think could help other women entrepreneurs?
Well, I don't think there's one specific issue, Anna. I think, the environment that they operate in seems to be perfect. But we know there's no perfection, in any place. But they seem to have, as we mentioned, the right resources, the right mindset. So, of course, that helps a lot for them.
Yes. Yeah.
And so, the idea and the motivation to go, to build their businesses, it comes naturally because they don't have to worry to some extent to things that other women have to worry in other countries. So that's, of course, for them, it's almost a perfect situation.
Yeah.
So I think Singapore. That's one of the reasons Singapore is considered one of the best places for women entrepreneurs, for the reasons that we just talked about.
And I think first as well, being able to live in a country where like different cultures and background can live in peace. And you also have access to many other cultures that come to your country in search of an opportunity and doing business. So I think they grew up already with this, cosmopolitan mindset.
Yes.
Of being able to relate to many different people, different from you, and knowing that you have to get out of your comfort zone and get out of Singapore in order to grow your business.
Yeah. It sounds great. It sounds, well, out of all the countries that you've spoken about so far, it sounds like it could be the number one.
I mean, of course, it's like a very good situation, but we are talking about like a very, very tiny country.
Yes.
So it wouldn't be fair to put them like as number one just because it's easier to very well like succeed when you have like less problems to deal with.
Yes. Okay. So there's a lot of things that are going for it, but they have different challenges. So, okay. Well, that sounds great. Maybe I should move to Singapore. Okay, well, thank you very much for all the information on Singapore. I mean, it's lovely to hear